can't hear you, Val, but you have fancy hair today.
Now I unmuted myself.
Oh, good. That's always helpful.
So can you keep that up, please? Okay, because I don't like the crying. Hey.
Sourdough starter.
So
There we go.
The very first thing we're going to do today is turn your ovens on to 350 degrees because you want them heating up.
My volume is being wonky.
Can you hear me?
There we go. It's not you, it's me. There we go.
So you'll want to turn your oven to 350 degrees first, Serena.
Okay. I can't hear because it's going in my ears.
Yeah.
Hi, love.
It shows different people.
Oh, I see that Serena has a helper in the background. Helping out. Oh, the helper in the front.
We just got back from the farm.
Oh, awesome.
Hi, love.
Can you give this to Hudson to help me?
Okay. So what I thought we'd do is make our crackers first because you're using sourdough discard, and then what's left. So rather than throwing away half of it, we're going to be putting 1 cup of sourdough starter into here. I set up my computer today so that I can show you my bowl. Look at how fancy that is.
Oh, that's a fancy one. I have one just like that.
So 1 cup of the sourdough starter is going to go in a bowl.
1 cup of the sourdough starter is going to go into a bowl, yes.
Okay, all right, let's do that.
Too much on this counter.
Yes, I got it.
So
It's not time to put it together on.
Okay.
I love all the noise.
I know.
I got a bunch of little demons over here. Don't mind me.
Hi.
Sorry, guys.
Hey.
We're going to start with crackers. So what you want to do is heat your
It
oven
has
to
like a watery thing
350.
on it.
I can't hear you.
Okay, say it again.
I can't hear you over other. There we go. Now I can hear you.
Okay, say it again, please.
Sorry, Sabrina.
So heat your oven to 350 degrees and put 1 cup of starter in a big bowl.
Okay.
Who was asking about watery shit on the top of their starter?
That was me.
That's totally normal. That's called hooch. And it means your starter is like so hungry that it ate up all of the food, the nutrients that it got from the flour and wanted more. So it's really good.
Mine's crusty.
That's okay.
Okay.
It happens. Crusty, watery. We love all starters.
Do I need to mix up that layer?
Oh yeah, you can mix it up a little bit.
Okay.
And then to the starter, we're going to add 1 cup of flour.
So I'm putting a cup in a big bowl.
Yep. A cup of starter and a cup of flour in a big bowl.
Cup of flour in the bowl with the starter.
Yep.
Okay.
Wait, which one? Big bowl?
Yep. Wait, this is a 1 bowl situation.
So other bowl
Love it.
we're gonna feed later.
Do we have
Yep.
more?
Will we have more coming? Yeah.
No light.
Okay.
Yes, in the bag. There's a grow-up bag in there.
Okay. And then next you're going to add some type of oil. So you can use olive oil. You could use melted butter. If you only have like canola oil, you could use that. It just doesn't taste very good, but it's going to have a note. It's not going to add flavor. It just isn't going to add flavor if you add canola oil. So olive oil is ideal if you guys have olive oil.
How much?
3 tablespoons.
Got it.
Sweet.
I'll need it.
3 tablespoons of oil.
Yes. And then a half of a teaspoon of salt. And then you're just going to stir it up.
Okay.
It's up to you. I can't. Okay, then do it.
All right.
And it's going to be stiff. It's going to be like a stiff dough, which is good.
So at what point do you add your hands?
At any point that you'd like. It's, we're bringing this together. We want it to be, we don't want any dry flour in it. If you're having trouble working with a spoon or with a spatula, I always recommend using your hands. You're going to use your hands a lot in bread baking. So
love it.
Your hands are your number one tool. And then you're going to want to lightly flour a work surface. I've got hella shit going on. We're making pizzas, so there's like pizza dough to the side. So
Are you doing the farm kit?
Yeah, well, kind of. We have all sorts of pizza ingredients, but I did get an extra pizza crust, pizza dough.
Just got back from the farm.
It's cold for the farm.
It was. We layered up.
All right, so you're gonna lightly flour a work surface, preferably not with your own human hair. Also, I just shed constantly, so.
So do I.
All right.
So we want to put it on the flour board.
Yep, and then put your cracker dough on the board.
All right.
All right, and then you'll throw a little flour on top of it too. But this is an oily dough. So the next thing that I would recommend is getting your baking sheet ready. You need just, I use a half sheet pan, but any cookie sheet will work. This is parchment paper, but you could also use aluminum foil for this. Or you could do it straight on the baking sheet. They might stick a little bit if you go straight on the baking sheet. So put something on your baking sheet if you have it, or a Silpat, like one of those silicone baking mats works really well too. You just want, if you can, to have something on the baking sheet.
Quick question. Mine is just like a watery mess. It doesn't look like a dough like yours.
Even with, so you put 1 cup of flour and 1 cup of starter.
I didn't put the flour.
Then
Put the
add
starter,
the
the oil, and the salt.
Okay, so yeah, add the flour.
Okay.
All right. And then you're going to want to roll out this dough. So if you don't have a rolling pin, you can use the side of a wine bottle or a can of tomatoes, like really anything will do. But what you want to do is roll it out pretty thin. I kind of roll it and then slide it about 90 degrees, roll it some more.
Yeah.
So
it's really
as thin as we can get it.
Pretty darn thin, yeah. Because when the kind of crackers that we're making are like these oily, crispy little nuggets of deliciousness.
My favorite.
Oh my God, they're so good. And you can throw a little flour on your rolling pin if Things are sticking.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
I was telling my husband today how much I love listening to everybody's families in the background because it just reminds me that we all have a lot going on. And I really appreciate you guys baking with me in the middle of your evening.
We appreciate you. It's like self-care.
It's such self-care. So you're going to have this very thin and pretty large amount of dough.
Uh-huh.
And then on top of that, I have this everything bagel seasoning that I like to sprinkle on top of it, but you could also just use salt. So you just sprinkle like a little bit of stuff on top. Salt is totally fine. If you have like a bigger salt, sometimes I like to use that, but just use what you have. Like Snatchy, I know how you love Lowry's seasoning. You could add a little Lowry's onto it to make like
Yeah, bitch. Things have not changed. I got my big ass Lowry's.
Oh, I know things have not changed. And I even have some MSG that sometimes I put on it just because MSG makes things taste really delicious. And then I also have big flaky sea salt that I put on. So I put that on, and then I'm going to tell you like my secret is I roll it into the crackers just a little bit so that it sticks, and so there's a little in every cracker.
Yeah, it's going to be good, I can tell.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that'll go with my soup tonight.
Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous of soup and crackers. Okay. So then the next thing you're going to do, make sure that you have your cookie sheet ready, and then you're going to cut them.
Are you ready for that?
You can use a pizza cutter. I have this little ravioli cutter that I got from my grandma, but you can use a knife if you don't have either of those things. And you're just going to cut long strips one way.
Do you want the edges? Should the edges be nice?
It's up to you. I mean, I'm not cooking for anybody but my own family.
Okay,
so
my edges are real haggard
Oh,
looking.
They do not need to be pretty.
Okay.
In fact, I think that kind of the rustic look looks really nice.
Rustic.
So like cracker size, are you talking about?
Well, so I'm making these, they're like strips right now, like you might make for a pie in one direction. And then I'm going to go back across the other direction and cut them into cracker size.
All right, let's put on our PJ.
So,
Can you tell my mom and I are perfectionists as we ask all the clarifying questions?
well, and I am not a perfectionist in my cooking. Like cooking is something that I do to remind myself that I'm a human that makes mistakes.
We're like, should it be like this? Should it look like
well, then I don't want to be here.
Okay.
You can be as perfect as you'd like. So then you've got these little cracker dealies, and you're just going to start transferring them to your baking sheet.
I did the Lowry's per the recommendation.
Ooh, it's so good.
I love it. I douse my turkey in it every year.
And so then you're just going to take your little crackers and put them on your baking sheet.
Okay.
And you might need 2 baking sheets, but you might just need 1, just depends.
Okay. Yum.
Gosh, this is cracker making. I've never made crackers before.
It's so easy. And I'd never made them before either until March. And my friend Stacy sent me this recipe. Oh, you've got to try these. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. You know, crackers seem kind of like daunting. This is so easy.
Mm.
And when you eat them, you're going to feel like you're a famous chef.
Well, and especially because they'll be sourdough, which is my favorite.
The sourdough flavor makes them taste kind of cheesy almost, like they've got Parmesan cheese in them. You could put Parmesan cheese on them.
Next level.
Or in them. You could put Like when you're mixing your dough, you could put some chopped rosemary in it. Really anything that you would put in a cracker, you can put in these.
Yeah. Will they pop up some?
Some of them do, some more than others. So you'll get the occasional little puffy bubble like in a sourdough loaf of bread.
Well, I just mean for space when I'm spacing them in the pan.
Oh, not much. No, you're not
Okay.
going to get a lot of leaven out of them.
Do they spread out?
Not really.
That's, yeah.
Okay.
And if they did, you just break them apart.
Okay.
Because again, it's a really rustic
Cracker.
Crackers, yes.
Mine are kind of big. Should I make them smaller?
It's fine. Try some
Okay.
big. You try some big and some small, and then you'll figure out which ones you like the most.
I just want to state that for the record, I'm very impressed with myself having all these ingredients on hand.
Yeah.
Because
I'm
this
super
is
impressed.
totally not my jam, and even having a roller and a pizza cutter and all that stuff, I'm like, damn, who is this chick?
She's making crackers.
I was just thinking that, like, you know that we're all kind of 40 when you've got a rolling pin.
Someone's jamming out.
Sounds like Sabrina's got a daycare going on in her house today.
That's
older
Totally,
kids.
I do.
So I ended up needing 2 cookie sheets, so I'm gonna start my second sheet.
Yeah, I did too.
Whew.
And then they cook for 12 to 15 minutes. So I'm gonna put mine on for like 7 minutes. And then I'm gonna rotate them in the oven so that everything gets kind of an equal amount of time in different parts of my oven.
So are you going to put one pan in or both of them in at the same time?
Well, I put one pan in, and I'm now rethinking whether or not I should have done that. But I'm going to put the other pan in right after it and then just let it cook for a little bit of extra time.
I put both pans in. I'll let you know how it goes.
Okay, great. You're
An
fast.
inquiry. I know.
I'm still
Halfway
picking up
through.
crackers.
I'll just switch their which pan. I'll just switch the pans when they went about halfway through.
Yeah,
We'll see how it goes.
Jenna, you do a lot of baking, don't you?
I don't know about a lot, but I
I feel
would
like you're a
do-
very
I would-
confident baker.
I would do more if someone would clean up after my baking.
True that.
How long
So
do you for?
tell me again how
12
long
to 15 minutes.
12 to 15, Juanita.
and so you after about halftime you just take the pan and turn it the other way.
Yep, I'll rotate it. So I'll either rotate it if you have a couple racks in your oven, I might put it like lower or higher and turn it just so that they're getting a little bit of extra, or a little bit of variation in where they're browning. Some of these are so thin, they're going to be the first ones to go from my family. I know it. The super crispy ones.
Mm.
Okay.
Alexa, set timer for 7 minutes.
7 minutes, starting now.
I totally like shout things at Alexa at school, and I don't even have one there. From being home for so long.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to put in my other ones. They're going to go 3 more minutes. Okay. And then we'll get cleaned up a little bit and we'll make our starter. Because Jared, my husband, would really appreciate it if I cleaned up as I go today.
Oh,
Number one biggest complaint, I think. Right, honey?
Hi, Jared.
Jenna and Serena, I have to tell you, I'm posting these videos so that people who can't be here with us can catch up. And I realized in our conversation 2 days ago, like, oh, I have to edit this because they're totally talking about their classrooms.
Oh, right.
So I took all of that out.
All right.
So they do not hear you. So no personal identifying information is
All
being.
good.
Thank you for doing that, because I'm thinking back to, because we were talking specifically about like the last 2 years, and there might be some, I don't know. It's actually kind of crazy how people can't really connect the dots, but you never know.
Well, but I think we know enough people in common that there probably is one or two. And I was like, I just don't want anybody to ever feel like, because I like having teacher friends so that I can be a confidant. You know? And I want to be a real friend. I don't want to be like have to keep it,
It's just my mom and I bantering. My mom and me bantering.
I'm going to edit all of this out too. Okay. All right, so now we need a bowl again.
Okay, we need a new bowl or not the bowl that has the rest of our starter?
The bowl that has the rest of your starter is perfect.
Okay.
I'm just going to wash out this bowl so that I
It's funny because when I had it in the jar, it never crusted, and last night I transitioned it to a bowl, and then it crustied.
Well, there's more surface area for air to.
So I'm keeping mine in a jar. Is that okay?
Yep, I keep mine in the jar.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We are here for the clarifying questions.
I just have to,
Yeah, just make sure.
My grandma brain sometimes doesn't work well. Anyway.
Okay, so you're going to put the rest of your starter into the bowl.
My kitchen.
I'm really trying not to use every single dish in the house today.
Done. It's already done. It's already been done.
Okay, so I'm going to put all my starter in a bowl. I'm going to take it out of the jar.
Yep.
Okay.
And put it all in a bowl.
And then, Mom, you can put it back in the jar after if that's your.
I will. Okay, thanks, honey.
And every few days, I kind of wash out my jar because it does get kind of like funky
crusty
after a few. Yeah, crusty.
Yeah.
All right. So you got your starter in the jar, and it's about half of what you had, which is good. You're going to add 3/4 cup of flour plus 2 tablespoons and 1/2 cup of water.
Whew.
I don't know about you guys, but I didn't get a ton of rise out of my starter in the last 24 hours. That's what I mean about like.
I didn't either.
It being just super disappointing on like day 4 or 5.
So 3/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons.
Yep.
And
half a
cup
cup
of flour. Of water. 1/2 cup of water. Excuse me.
Hi, Penelope.
Oh, there's there's my crackers.
2 tablespoons. Where I go through so many dishes now. We run the dishwasher every day now.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, when you're home all the time.
Home and cooking.
Yeah, you're cooking a lot, huh, babe?
Yeah, Mom.
That's what a farm box will do.
Oh yeah, Mom. I got you more mushrooms.
Oh, great. I made mushroom soup. I forgot to give some to Serena.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Like a cream of mushroom soup?
I did. It
So
was so easy and so good. I could not believe, and it was better the next day.
Always.
That sounds amazing.
Have you ever made cream of mushroom soup?
I have.
It's
but
delicious.
it was really, really good, but it felt so decadent
Yes.
that I only made it one time.
Oh,
But I
so
do make my own bechamel with mushrooms for like green bean casserole for
Yeah.
holidays sometimes, which feels like kind of the same thing.
good.
All right. Let's see here.
Okay.
Oh, there they
Aw.
go. There they go. It's time to be crazy.
I know. It's
Little
like
Weaver family.
it's bedtime. I'm always like, bring it down. We're calming down. Alexa, timer off. Sorry, guys.
Jim.
Yeah, let me finish cleaning up in here.
Alexa, set timer for 3 minutes.
2 minutes, starting now.
Does your Alexa ever like start playing really loud music in the middle of the night?
No.
You've never had that happen?
No, tell me more. Is it like
Um,
one of your playlists or is it just random?
Well, one time, the first time it was happening was probably last April, maybe March. So it was like, on top of all of the other madness.
Yeah.
But what had happened is someone had hacked into my Spotify account.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
And
I had a Spotify hacker too.
yeah, I've had a Spotify hacker a couple of times, and then I went ahead and just broke down and let like my iPhone come up with the password and just store, and it hasn't happened since then. But and that happened multiple nights in a row before I figured out what was going on. But it just happened again.
Oh my gosh.
It just happened again, maybe like a few weeks ago. And I'm not sure. No, from what I can tell, it doesn't look like it was someone who hacked into the Spotify. They just managed to somehow access the little Alexa that was in the kids' bathroom.
Oh my gosh, that's creepy.
It's the government. It's the government tracking you.
Playing music in my house at like 3 a.m.
So it's just people like messing around. It's like to hack your Spotify, like Spotify doesn't have card information, does it?
No, they want to use your premium Spotify account.
So they just want to use your account.
So I have family Spotify and there's 6 total profiles. And all of a sudden I was getting like Mexican music on my Spotify and I'm like, how come this is being recommended? Like this is not my style. Their algorithm is broken. And then I went into the my profile and I saw that there were 2 different profiles that had also been added. So people were listening to my Spotify and I'd like go in to play music and somebody else was playing music somewhere else on my account. Super creepy.
Well, and the like, I think the most annoying thing then after getting it fixed is I then had to like work really hard to get the recommendations for like my daily mix or whatever I had to go through and unfollow certain people. So that was annoying too. Cause then I'm not listening. This is not the music I want to listen to, but the music that would come on and play in the middle of the night was just such a strange type of music. It was kind of drum and bass is probably not really the way to describe it, but it was just
like techno. Alexa,
it was not techno. It wasn't. It was a little more downbeat than that.
Just
It
like
was
some
more downbeat,
lo-fi
but
beats.
it was like lots of bass and this. I mean, for a while I was like, is somebody making up this music? It was a trip.
So do you have to like disable your Alexa at night now?
I just try to remind the kids to unplug the one that is in their bathroom, because they don't wake up for that stuff, and it's as loud as it can possibly go. So,
oh my gosh,
yeah,
How annoying.
it's
well, I know
very
I've had
annoying.
friends get their Amazons hacked and purchases and things like that they somehow are able to like mask, but not Alexa yet. I know she's listening.
Right.
But there's not much happening over here except for potty training, so she can listen.
Well,
Well,
we
then she can-
we don't have an Alexa. We don't have any of that stuff.
That's probably a good choice, Juanita. Some of us are not as advanced. I'd almost call it advanced to not have an Alexa.
What are you cooking?
Well, no, it's just that I'm not very techy, and if something like that happened, the Alexa would probably just go back in the garbage or something. I don't know. I don't have the patience to be techy. I can barely.
Oh, Mom, you're
Zoom.
awesome. Well, that's good to know. Now I bet it's gonna happen tonight now.
Because they're
It's
listening to you.
It
Hey,
is.
Gloria, so like are the crackers gonna look golden brown? Is that when it's a good indicator? When's a good indicator?
So they're good. They're probably, some of them are probably pretty puffy. I like mine to be a little crispier, so I like them a little browner. So I'll probably leave mine in another 5 minutes. They're going to be really chewy when you take them out of the oven until they cool. But then I'm just going to put them back in for a little while and just watch them. Like, you don't want them to be burned, but you know how like an extra crispy Cheez-It that's a little darker is just like extra delicious? That's how I like my crackers. So they've got like a little brownness to them.
That sounds good to me. I would like them that way too.
And they do have like, they get firmer as they cool. So you'll be super tempted to just eat them right out of the oven, but they don't have the texture that they'll have when they cool down. And then if you want them to stay crispy, you let them cool completely, put them in a container with a lid. I'm going to be honest, they're not going to last in your house very long. So probably your family is going to eat like all of them in the first hour. Hi, Molly. Dance party.
So if they're salty, Penelope will eat them all.
Perfect. And they may not be as salty as you want them to be this round, but then if they're not, just remember to make them saltier next time. And you can add a dip or something. They're just a great vehicle for anything that you're eating. Well, I won't keep you ladies any longer because it's 7:04, but let me know, send me a picture of how your crackers look and let me know what you think. And I'll meet you back here at 6:30 tomorrow and we'll do a little bit more startering.
Yay, thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.